You're making your way through the airport just like any other trip. Your bag goes onto the conveyor belt and slides into the scanner. Your mind is already ahead, thinking about which gate you need to head toward. Then a beep cuts through the noise. A security officer pulls your bag aside. Within moments, your journey comes to an unexpected halt. Not because of your passport. Not because of your boarding pass. But because of something inside your luggage you never gave a second thought. A cordless styling tool. That power bank you always pack. Even a sealed perfume bottle picked up at duty-free. Suddenly, it's confiscated. You're handed a fine. In some cases, passengers are questioned or even detained. It sounds unbelievable, until you realize what's changed. Beginning in 2026, airports across the globe are rolling out the most stringent travel regulations to date. Everyday items that used to sail through security can now lead to penalties as steep as $17,000. And almost no one is warning travelers ahead of time. Airlines quietly revised their policies, the TSA stepped up enforcement, and airports rolled out fully automated scanners that don't negotiate, don't explain, and don't make exceptions. Not even by a millimeter, and with no more human discretion or officers looking the other way, machines now make the call and machines have no mercy. So in this video we'll walk you through which everyday items are now banned as of 2026, what penalties you could face, and how to protect your trip, your wallet, and your peace of mind simply because the rules shifted without any public fanfare. This isn't a minor policy tweak but a complete reset of how air travel operates, and if you show up unprepared, the airport will teach you the hard way, starting with banned item number 1, gas-powered cordless hair tools, which have already blindsided thousands of travelers, so if you own a cordless flat iron, curling wand, or heated styling brush that runs on butane cartridges, listen carefully because as of 2026, that device is no longer permitted on any flight, period. This ban applies whether the item is in your carry-on or checked luggage. It is completely prohibited, and the problem isn't the styling tool itself but the gas cartridge inside it, because during a flight, changes in pressure, vibration, and even static electricity can cause gas to leak, and when combined with heat or a spark, that creates a serious fire risk at 35,000 feet, which is exactly why aviation authorities have now classified these devices as unsafe. What many travelers don't realize is that this restriction isn't limited to cheap, unbranded products. Major brands also sell cordless styling tools that run on gas, and if the cartridge cannot be removed by hand, the device is banned without exception, and security officers are trained to spot these items instantly on scanners, so hiding them under clothes or hoping they'll be overlooked won't work. If you try, you could face fines ranging from $450 to $12,900, which is why the safer approach is to switch to traditional corded styling tools or models powered by removable lithium batteries that comply with airline regulations, which might be slightly less convenient but are fully legal and won't derail your trip before it even begins. Banned item number 2 is power banks in checked luggage, and this rule is catching people off guard because for years, portable chargers seemed completely harmless. You'd toss them into your suitcase, forget about them, and never run into problems, but that era is officially over. Since March 2025, with even stricter enforcement beginning in 2026, power banks are now completely banned from checked luggage and are only allowed in your carry-on, and that's not the only restriction, because there's also a hard capacity limit of 100 watt-hours, and here's where the trap lies. Most travelers have no idea what watt-hours even are, but to put it simply, a common 20,000 mAh power bank at 5 volts equals exactly 100 watt-hours, which puts it right at the limit, while a 30,000 mAh model crosses the line into prohibited territory, meaning many people are unknowingly carrying illegal batteries in their bags. The reason for this crackdown is that lithium batteries stored in the cargo hold can overheat, catch fire, or even explode under pressure and extreme temperatures, whereas in the cabin, a smoking battery can be spotted and handled immediately. In the cargo hold, it might not be noticed until it's too late. And don't assume you can sneak it through, because modern scanners identify lithium batteries with extreme precision, and if a power bank is found in checked luggage, your bag can be opened, the device confiscated, and you could face fines of up to $2,570, so the safe move is simple. Always carry your power bank in your backpack or personal item. Double-check that its watt-hour rating is clearly labeled, and if you're unsure of its capacity, leave it at home, because no charge is worth risking your flight. Now, banned item number 3 is electronic devices that do not turn on. Imagine this: you reach the security checkpoint, your laptop, tablet, and camera go into the tray, and an officer picks up your phone and asks one simple question: "Can you turn this on, please?" You press the button, nothing happens because the battery is dead, and just like that, your trip is in danger, because starting in 2026, airports across the United States, the United Kingdom, and an increasing number of countries worldwide are enforcing this rule with zero flexibility, meaning if an electronic device does not power on during inspection, it may not be allowed on the aircraft. No debate, no second chances, and the reason is simple. From a security standpoint, a device that cannot be turned on cannot be verified as real or functional. That makes it suspicious by default, and this rule isn't limited to phones. It applies to laptops, tablets, cameras, smartwatches, wireless headphones, e-readers, and anything else electronic. Here's the part almost no one tells you. You don't get a warning email, no reminder from the airline, and you only find out at the checkpoint. So if your device fails to power on, it can be confiscated or you could be denied boarding, with first-time penalties possibly starting as warnings or fines around $450, but repeat incidents can escalate into thousands of dollars, which is why the solution is brutally simple. Charge everything the night before your flight, make sure every device has at least 50% battery, and if something is broken or unreliable, don't bring it, because leaving it at home is far safer than losing your flight at security. Now, banned item number 4 is smart luggage with non-removable batteries. Smart luggage promised convenience with GPS tracking, built-in charging, digital locks, and everything in one suitcase, but in 2026, that convenience can ground you instantly because if your smart suitcase has a battery that cannot be removed, it cannot fly, not as a carry-on, not as checked luggage, and while this rule isn't new, enforcement is now absolute, and the problem, as always, is the battery. Many smart suitcases were built with sealed batteries permanently embedded in the shell, meaning that if something goes wrong during a flight, that battery cannot be shut down, isolated, or removed, which makes it a serious fire risk. And here's what happens at the airport: a security officer asks you to show the battery, and if you cannot remove it by hand within seconds, the suitcase stays on the ground. It doesn't matter if you paid $500 for it, it doesn't matter if you've flown with it before, because no removable battery means no flight. Some manufacturers have adapted by including a small battery compartment with a clip or button that lets you remove the battery before boarding. So if your suitcase has that feature, you're fine as long as you carry the battery in your personal bag and not inside the suitcase. But one more detail matters. The battery must be under 100 watt-hours, and anything above that is prohibited. So if you're shopping for smart luggage, check those two things first: removable battery and under 100 watt-hours, because miss either one and your trip can end before it starts. Now, banned item number 5 is alcohol over 70%, and this is one of the bans travelers only learn about at security. If you're carrying liquor with more than 70% alcohol by volume, it cannot travel with you at all. Not in your carry-on and not in your checked bag. That includes high-proof rum, grain alcohol, strong absinthe, or any spirit above 140 proof, and the reason is simple. These liquids are highly flammable and pose a significant fire risk on board, but this does not apply to regular whiskey, tequila, or wine, which are still allowed in checked luggage, because the cutoff is strict. If the label shows more than 70% alcohol by volume, the bottle is prohibited. Here's how travelers get caught. Many people buy these bottles as gifts or souvenirs, thinking duty-free makes them safe, but it does not, because security scanners detect them immediately. The bottle is confiscated, and there is no appeal, and worse, even if you buy it after security, a connecting flight can still take it away at the next airport. So if you're considering a strong liquor purchase, read the label carefully, and if it crosses the limit, leave it behind, because no souvenir is worth losing your bottle or your trip. Now, Banned item number 6 is full-size aerosols. Aerosols have always been tricky at airports, but in 2026 they became a serious problem, because full-size aerosols are now strictly limited, and only a short list of personal care items like deodorant, hairspray, or shaving foam is allowed, while everything else is banned. That includes cleaning sprays, spray paint, insect repellent, air fresheners, and even cans of whipped cream. None of these can travel in carry-on or checked luggage. And here's the catch most people miss: many beauty products are aerosols even if they don't look dangerous, like dry shampoo, makeup setting spray, or self-tanning spray. And if the container is pressurized and larger than 100 milliliters and it's not on the approved personal care list, scanners will flag it instantly. The penalties are not small, because trying to carry banned aerosols can result in fines from $450 up to $2,570, and if the aerosol is flammable or toxic, those fines can climb towards $17,000, with the possibility of further investigation. So the safest approach is simple: check the official TSA aerosol list before you pack. Use solid products whenever possible, keep liquids and sprays under 100 milliliters, and if you're unsure about a product, don't bring it. Replacing it at your destination is cheaper than dealing with security. Now, banned item number 7 is fresh food and animal products, and this one surprises travelers the most because starting in 2025 and expanding aggressively in 2026, many countries tightened food and agricultural controls, meaning what you could casually bring before can now be confiscated without warning. Fresh food is the main target, including fruits, vegetables, meat, homemade sandwiches, artisan cheese, cured meats, honey, raw eggs, and many homemade snacks. And while for years small amounts for personal use often passed unnoticed, that leniency is gone, so now fresh food can be seized at security or customs even if you packed it for yourself. The problem is consistency, because what is allowed in one country may be illegal in another. A snack that passes in Spain might be confiscated in the United States or Australia, and most travelers only discover this after their entire food bag is taken away. The reason is not arbitrary, as governments are trying to prevent invasive pests, animal diseases, and ecosystem contamination, meaning to them a single apple or sandwich is not harmless but a biosecurity risk. So if you plan to carry food, you need to check the destination country's rules in advance, as most airports publish this information online, and when in doubt, choose commercially packaged processed snacks, which rarely cause problems, because fresh food is no longer worth the gamble. Finally, banned item number 8 is wireless devices without safety covers, and this is one of the quietest rule changes and one of the easiest to miss. Wireless devices are now under tighter control, and that includes wireless headphones, mice, keyboards, and Bluetooth gadgets, because in 2026 these devices are only allowed in the cabin if they are protected against accidental activation. The reason is simple. A device that turns on by itself during flight could interfere with onboard systems or emit unauthorized signals, and even brief interference is taken seriously. Here's the problem. Many modern wireless devices don't have a physical power switch and rely on sleep mode, but sleep mode is no longer considered enough, as security now requires the device to be fully powered off and physically protected. So if a gadget doesn't have a safety cover, lock, or battery isolation, it may be flagged during inspection. To protect yourself, carry these devices in your personal bag, power them completely off before boarding, and if cabin crew asks you to verify the device during the flight, cooperate immediately. Ignoring the request or arguing only escalates the situation, because wireless doesn't mean harmless anymore. In 2026, even small electronics are treated as potential risks, and banned item number 9 is tools and sharp objects that used to pass without issue. For years, small tools like tiny screwdrivers, tweezers, large nail clippers, and scissors just over the limit slipped through security without much attention, but in 2026 that tolerance is gone, and any object that could be used as a weapon or dangerous tool is now under extreme scrutiny, with the final decision made on the spot by the security officer, which is the dangerous part because what looks harmless to you may look like a threat to them, and there is no appeal window at the checkpoint. If the item is flagged, penalties can be immediate, with fines typically ranging from $450 to $2,570, and if the object is classified as a weapon, the situation can escalate into a criminal investigation or arrest, and yes, this applies even if you carried the same item on previous trips because rules are being enforced differently now, so the safest rule is brutally simple. If you don't absolutely need it, leave it at home, and if you do need it, put it in checked luggage only, because trying to argue at security rarely works and often makes things worse. In 2026, small tools are no longer small risks. Finally, banned item number 10 is weapon replicas, and the consequences are severe. This rule sounds obvious, and yet people are still getting detained for it, because anything that looks like a weapon is completely banned. That includes realistic gun replicas, toy guns, and even lighters shaped like firearms, and it doesn't matter if it's plastic, if it's a gift, or if it cannot fire. If it resembles a weapon, it does not fly, not in carry-on and not in checked luggage, and the penalties here are no joke because carrying weapon replicas can trigger immediate confiscation, criminal investigation, and heavy fines, and in serious cases, travelers have faced penalties climbing into the tens of thousands of dollars along with questioning and flight bans, with no exceptions and no explanations that work. If it looks like a gun, it stays behind. And now comes the part most travelers underestimate, the consequences, because in 2026, TSA fines can reach over $17,000 for a single serious violation, which includes carrying banned items, interfering with security procedures, refusing inspections, or disrupting passenger flow. But fines are only the beginning, as depending on the incident, you could face arrest, temporary or permanent flight bans, placement on watch lists, criminal charges that carry prison sentences, and six-figure fines. And this no longer stays local, because airports now share data across countries using facial recognition, artificial intelligence, and linked security databases, meaning a violation in the United States can follow you when you try to fly in Europe, Asia, or Latin America. So how do you protect yourself? Check the updated prohibited items list before every trip, charge every electronic device, and when in doubt, don't bring the item at all. Arrive early, stay calm, and cooperate, because flying in 2026 is no longer forgiving, but it is predictable if you know the rules, and when you understand how the system works, the airport stops being a trap and becomes just another step toward your destination.